In this module, we are going to be expanding on VoC, that is the voice of customer. It's very important to make sure that the voice of the customer is captured in your product development phase, because ultimately you're building a product for someone. We started this module, this course, by saying that we are going to be building products that people care about. So this is the part of the caring of people, right? And that's where the voice of the customer comes in. Now, I know we have a lot of things on this slide to cover, but these are just some strategies that we implement with regards to voice of customer. Once we are done with these, you'll get to see how a voice of customer collection of voice of customer conversation kind of goes like. But before we go into that, I want to talk with you regarding a few steps. So the first thing, what you want to do is to identify your product's target audience, right? Every product has a target audience. For example, lipstick is a product that has a certain target audience, whereas you know a mouse has a computer mouse has a target audience. A Apple Watch has a target audience. An Android phone has a target audience. So everything has a certain target audience that it serves. So the first step is identification of your product's target audience, and then you collect the voice of customer. Every product doesn't solve a problem for everyone. That's the biggest trap to fall into. The second piece in this is, once you start collecting the voice of customer, that is, you are either doing customer interviews, talking with them over the phone, doing some surveys, any of those methods, right? You are going to be tasked with the interpretation and prioritization of those two things, right? Now, what do I mean by that? Interpretation and prioritization. See, the customer is going to give you feedback, right? Once you start listening to the voice of the customer, generally it's going to be unfiltered, right? It's just going to be a lot of like text or voice or video recordings of people talking. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing, because then you'll be able to observe and interpret through that vagueness. So interpretation. The second aspect, which I said, was of prioritization. Once you have a long laundry list of these interpreted items that you feel are good for your feedback, you'll have to then start prioritizing them. And once you prioritize, then you will align it with your product roadmaps, correct? And with your other product stakeholders. So these are the three key steps that you have to keep in mind. Now that you have heard me through this long slide of words, the next one, you will see that it's actually going a little bit deep, and you'll get to see a flavor of how this conversation actually go through. So take a look at that, and just keep these three things in your mind and try to connect the dots when you see that video. Thank you so much.